So today I'm going to talk about our sense organs. And now what is important is uh, I'm closing the door so the echo does get reduced. Okay, so the main thing which I just want to discuss is, see, I have two eyes, one nose, which have two nostrils, a skin covering my whole of my body, two ears, and one tongue. Okay, so these are the primary sense organs. Now what I just have observed is, let us ask you a question. If I remove both of your eyes, both the ears, suppose you have a disease simultaneously also, which have hampered the touch reception area, that is the area 312 of your posterior cortex, parietal cortex, and the gustatory area of your frontal cortex, area 43, and your olfactory sensation is very low. That means you have no sense organs. Effectively, you have all the sense organs, and functionally all of them are just gone. Now, for the person who has no sense organs, you tell me one thing. You tell me just one thing. You have no sense organs, right? Then if you have no sense organs, how can you perceive the world? For that person who has no sense organs, does this world exist for him or her? No, this world does not exist for him or her. This world exists for those persons who have sense organs. So think very carefully. This world is only present if you can sense it. If you can't sense it, this world is simply absent. So it depends on your observation of what reality is going to look like. You know about the famous quantum experiment. I have told it earlier also, that electron beams passes through the slit. Now, whenever someone is not observing it, it is following a particle nature. Okay. But whenever no one is observing, it is following a wave nature. That means your observation is the key factor through which this world is being changed in real time. So think about the creator of this world. He has created you in the form, in the way he wanted, and with all those sense organs through which you sense this world. Isn't it amazing? If one or more of those sense organs are absent, you can't simply sense this world. That means that world is not present for that person. Suppose a person is born dumb, born deaf, born blind. He has some born disorders through which he cannot smell or he cannot taste. Then for that person, what is this world? So the world exists only and only until you sense it. If you can't sense, this world simply does not exist. And therefore, after your death, this world also does not exist. So please think one thing. This world is unstable. This world is actually non-existent. This world is actually false. It's you who perceive it as true. It's you who perceive it as stable. And this is our creator who has created this world as such. And you have been put in this world as for getting tested. This world, your exam hall. You will give the exam here. Okay. And this has been mentioned in several places of Samvedas, where it has been told, it as a mantra, that whenever rishis, Prachin rishis, ancient rishis, they performed the yajna, they told, "Oh our Lord, this world is situated inside you, but this world is false. But you have created this world as such. It seems true. It seems as existent." The similar message has been repeated in Quran. Okay? Oh believers, this world, Allah is saying, this world is nothing. This world is deceiving you. Then why are you getting so much possessed with these worldly things? These worldly things are unstable. These worldly things will go away. They will come and go away. They are not stable. They are not permanent. They are just simply testing you. They are just simply examining you. They are just simply deceiving you. Why don't you understand then? And people think this world is permanent. This life is permanent. They make money. They save, and they think in the old age, I will have this. I will have that. I will have that. I will do this after this time. I will do this after this time. Thinking this world and this day and this life is permanent. Is it? Question yourself. Bye.